You don't know what I haven't ever found out. Surprising because there was a large audience, and he was generous, and we got on. I didn't understand why some of the work that he read was being written and read, but I'm sure that was mutual as an experience. He was very nervous, it seemed to me, and I thought some of the audience were responding in a way to me as a consequence of having heard him read first, and so that was quite interesting. They somehow had more attention for me than they would have otherwise done so, I thought. I mean, as I'm just surmising, I'm making that guess because they'd been given the attention from somebody that they turned up to see, and then here I am as the follow-up bill, as it were. I mean, there were 2 readings, one either side of an interval, and but I didn't actually question anybody and ask whether that was the case. It was particularly a significant response to being in a nexus or a group of cohorts of people of not like mind, but of mind that contributed to each other, support of each other. That's what it was about, really. And whether revival was the wrong word for me, although what we thought, I suppose, people like Mottram were thinking it revived as a consequence of being subsequent to David Jones or subsequent to Basil Bunting or some of the people that had been around as part of an earlier generation and were still around. Hugh McDermott would be another example. The revival only in that sense. It really felt much more to do with the fact that we'd come out of the 60s reading a lot of really exciting American poetry, and it made us realise who we were somehow. Made us realise what was possible. No. I wouldn't have made a choice later, but if you pushed me to make one, I don't know whether the question says who's your favourite poet. So it says that I couldn't really answer because it would be a multiple answer. It'd have to be. In honesty, it would. So I would have to think who would be socially capable and politically viable for me, and that would make it very hard. Doug Oliver would have been a really great poet to read because of his political, moral, ethical commitment and his good poetry. Subsequent to that, I mean, I don't want to keep any names. Keats. Spend some time preparing the paint and the materials that are about to be put somewhere, and then act very quickly. He was attending the Royal Festival Hall, and Charles Osborne was sitting on the stairs in the aisle and gave a very, very huge applause after William Empson gave a 20-minute introduction to a 1-minute poem. And I turned around not knowing who he was and had hardly read him. Only read Proprioception, Bibliographer for America, but had hardly read any of his poetry. Just knew him as a reputation in 1967, this was. And I've never forgotten it. It just took my life over, essentially.